All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's try this again. Can you see me? I know you could hear me before. Can you see me? Give everybody a second to respond. That has never happened to me before on YouTube or using StreamYard. That I go live and no one can see me. How is it, guys? Can you see me? Got 9 in the chat. Someone chime in. There you go. Ah, here we go. There we go. What's up, Orange and Green? Rob Dukes. All right. Where was I? All right. Let's just start from the beginning because I don't know at what point the video feed cut out. So let's just get right to it. Miami landed a big-time commitment today in Raul Aguirre. 4-star, athletic, hard-hitting, very talented linebacker. He's ranked number 121, I think, on the 247 composite. He's the number 9 linebacker in the country right now. So we got a legit top 10 dude. Again, 6'2", 220, great size, great speed. That's what the kind of linebacker we've been missing for the most part over the last 10, 15 years. And not only that, I heard, as I was saying before, my last stream that was not working, I was hearing on, I want to say it was through the Smokes podcast, that Miami hadn't landed a top 247 linebacker in consecutive seasons since 2000 and 2001, or 2001 and 2002, something like that, where basically it was DJ Williams and Leon Williams in back-to-back seasons. That was the last, both were 5-star guys, but that was the last time we, in consecutive classes, landed stud linebackers. Now, going back to last year, of course, we landed Wesley Bassane. That was the guy we needed to land. It's a position that we've struggled at for many years. Honestly, I don't know why, because you had Randy Shannon here coaching for 4 years. I mean, the dude knows linebackers, especially back then, as well as anybody. Certainly brought in a few good ones in Colin McCarthy and Sean Spence, but then after that, it was a drop-off. Golden had that 1 year where he brought in some good guys. After that, drop-off. We could never just stack classes one after the other. And really, that was the case across the board, but it's, for whatever reason, especially at linebacker. If we just compete or even beat A&M or Clemson this year, get 10 wins in a bowl game, our recruiting will go bananas and have lines to come here. Yep. We haven't even, just keep this in mind, people. Mario hasn't even coached a game yet, and look what he's doing on the recruiting trail. We've never seen anything like this. So, and not just landing guys like this, landing guys like Aguirre over Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama. I mean, we're going up against the big boys, the big programs to land these dudes like Maui Goa, like Jaden Rashada. It's been nuts, and I'm loving it, and obviously, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. Of course, the haters we're gonna hear them on Twitter and all that stuff, but we're heading in the right direction when all they can say is one of two things. They really have two arguments left right now. How many ACC titles we have, which in a couple of years is not even going to matter. And did you even go to UM? That's my favorite one. And you know what? I'll address that right now. As a Cane fan, and like many Cane fans, no, I did not attend the University of Miami because it was extremely expensive. I went to FIU, and FIU basically paid me to go there. University of Miami is a small private school, very tough to get in. I did get in, but with no financial assistance as far as scholarships and anything. And it costs like $9 billion a semester to go there. I don't have that lying around, so no, I did not attend the University of Miami. And as for the ACC thing, FSU fans love to bring that one up. They've won like 14 million ACC titles. That's great. How many national titles do you have? Then they'll say, oh, but that's in the past. So are the ACC titles, so shut up. Anyway, what's going on, John Mario? Yeah, the Mario effect is in full force. Absolutely. So this was an important acquisition because, like I said earlier, we have not landed stud linebackers in back-to-back classes. Having Wesley Basaint and now having Raul Aguirre, I mean, you got two guys that can not only play in space, very intelligent linebackers, they're playmakers. And if you can land, like, couple that with what we already got in Chase Smith and, Caleb Johnson and, maybe one of these underrated guys can develop into something, maybe Bobby Washington. They're starting to build something. And remember, you've got Kevin Steele, you've got Charlie Strong developing them. The linebackers are the brains of the defense. I've always thought that. Some people think it's the safeties and what it depends, but for the most part, it's the linebackers. If you're void of talent at linebacker, or if you're deficient at linebacker, your defense is going to be deficient. Sorry to tell you. I almost went to a culinary school in Miami. The difference between last year and this year is that we have a general to lead us, whereas last year we had a politician. I feel like the last few coaches we've had a politician. Got to keep the momentum going. Yes, Travis, I was going to bring this name up. Stanquan Clark. That is the next name that's been popping up. Really, him and Malik Bryant, who's one of the top, if not the top linebacker in the nation right now. Those are the two big names floating around for us to go get. I'd be ecstatic if we get Stanquan. Absolutely ecstatic. Because that's like almost like another Raul Aguirre. I don't know if might not be quite the elite level of Raul Aguirre, but he's a hell of a player, is Stanquan Clark. South Florida kid. The staff I know really likes him. Those two and Bobby Washington, I'd be pretty happy with that, with that linebacker class. Now, if you can couple that with the dude that Les is bringing up, Malik Bryant, well, like I said before we got Francis Mauigoa, you may have to kick me off social media because I'll be insufferable. I'm getting to that point because you land Francis Mauigoa, who's the number one tackle in the nation. Then, Samson's name's been coming up. Samson Akunlola, who's like the number 3 tackle in the nation. You land both those guys. We were talking about this with David Franklin a couple of weeks ago. I was hoping we land one of them. Now one is in the ship. We might land the second one. You land 2 of those monster tackles. I mean, we're going back to the days of McKinney and Gonzalez anchoring that offensive line. U-Town, thank you for the donation, sir. Really appreciate the support. Remember the Bermuda Triangle, Smith, Lewis, and Barrow. How does Wesley, Raul, and Malik sound? Sounds pretty damn good. That sounds pretty damn good. And yes, Randy mentioned it. It was Jesse Armstead, not Ray Lewis. But Ray Lewis was on the team in '92. I think he was a freshman, if I remember correctly. 93. Was he on the team? Yeah, I think he was a freshman in '92. Yes, I do have my years correct. But yeah, that goes to show you we've had so many Hall of Fame linebackers. I lose track. Samson is a must get. Absolutely. Les, you are correct. Because it's looking, from what I'm hearing, I don't know if Monroe Freeling is going to end up a Cane. That is one dude I would love to get, but right now it's not looking great. But if we can land Samson in his place, I mean, those are your 2 tackles anchoring the line. And then you got Tinalau and Tripp that could, play in the interior. That's perfect. That sounds good to me. And then, of course, Jaden Bonsu's name's floating around. He's one of the top safeties in the nation. Big safety, 6'2", 205, 210 pounds. It's really From what I'm hearing, it's between us and Ohio State. Randy's saying, John, it sounds like Bonsu is a can. I've been hearing that. I've been hearing good things. Olas might pull the trigger before him. That is one dude that I would love in the interior of this line. I mean, he, to me, would be a perfect guard. I can totally see that dude on plays where he's the pulling guard and just get to that second level and just run through linebackers. I'm 63 years old today, and we got it. Hey, happy birthday, Michael. Bryant announcing the 23rd. Yes, he is announcing. So that would be 11 days from now. So yeah, lots happening. The momentum. I don't see anything stopping it anytime soon. Let's just say that. I keep saying on my posts, we ain't done yet. And after this one, I'm going to say it again. We ain't done yet. You still got a couple more linebackers to get. You still got those edge rushers to go get. I still think we're going to get, if not a David Hicks caliber D tackle, we're going to get a really solid one. Defensive line was addressed in the transfer portal this year, especially D tackle, but you got to go get at least one in this class, at least one really good one. You'll get 2 or 3 really good edge rushers. You already got Jaden Wayne. You got Andrew Bain out there. Reuben Bain. You got Mpemba. You got some studs out there. How many we take in this cycle? You talking linemen? Let's see. You got Tinalau, you got Tripp, Maui Goa. I've been thinking 5 total. I think we take 2 more. It's going to be, let's say Sampson is the 4th, and maybe Olas is the 5th. Absolutely more than satisfied with that. Winston, you think 6? Okay, it could be 6. I'm thinking at least 5. At least 5. But Mirabal and Cristobal, obviously, they're our team is coached. Our head coach is an offensive line guy. So it would not shock me if he goes and gets 6 or 7 because he wants to just completely just revamp the roster as far as that unit goes. If Sampson wants in later and we have 5, I see him going 6. That's a good point. That's not a guy you can turn down. People keep asking me if Peyton Kirkland is a take. I think he is. If you're at 5 or 6 and he wants in, why not? He's like a top 120, top 150 guy. Why not? Moss, Kelly, Wayne, and Pemba and Payne. Not to mention, you still got Leonard Taylor. And you still got, you got Lichtenstein. You got a lot of depth. If we get Sampson, I don't think we get Kirkland. That's fair. How many more O-line we're going to go get? Yeah, we were just saying that. We got 3 right now. I'm thinking at least 5, maybe 6. Let's see. I blasted through some comments here. Yes, happy birthday, Michael. Happy birthday, Michael. If you missed it, guys, Michael Becker, it's his 63rd birthday. Happy birthday to him. Bain coming soon, maybe kind of seems like he's waiting on something. Yeah, I think he's just enjoying the recruiting process, to be honest with you. And that's another guy that can maybe move inside. I know he's only like 6'2", but they say he's got the frame to put on some more weight and be like a 3 technique type of D tackle. I don't think they worry about numbers. Strong survive. Manny's players leave. Let's see. West, Pop, and Brian would be a good linebacking core. Absolutely. That'd be elite. So, yeah, I'm just making sure I didn't miss any comments. So, we'll see what happens. There's still a lot more to get done here with this class. They are nowhere near being done. The offensive side of the ball, there's not much left to do, honestly. Maybe a running back, maybe, like we said, 2 or 3 more linemen, and maybe a receiver. That's about it. They're set at tight end. They're set at quarterback. They got their left tackle of the future, it seems like, in Maui Goa, or their right tackle of the future. So, we'll see what happens there. There's not there's pretty close to wrapping up the offensive side of the ball. The defensive side of the ball, again, is where I think it's still going to get fun. We still got to land, I think, another stud cornerback. I know Cormani McLean is like the best player in the country overall. That's the dude that, if we land him, that is the ultimate cherry on top of the sundae that would be this class. If we don't get him, hey, that is totally fine. I know I'm being greedy, but man, that would be a crowning achievement for this coaching staff. All right, so switching gears really quick from recruiting. This has to do a lot with recruiting. I haven't addressed this on my show because it happened over the weekend, the whole thing with Jaden Wayne. We talked a little bit about it, on the other shows and stuff, but all that stuff about him losing a star. I love the people that still say that the rankings don't matter and the star ratings don't matter. They want to keep bringing up, Ed Reed was a -2-star or whatever. Warren Sapp was this. And listen, that was basically the equivalent of the Stone Ages in recruiting rankings. Okay. They almost didn't have recruiting rankings back then. 247 didn't exist. I don't think if they gave star ratings, it was hard to find. I mean, I know that we hear that rumor of Ed Reed was like a 2-3-star developmental guy. Yeah. That happened a lot more back then. The way evaluations work nowadays is it's so far and away, so different from the way it used to be. It's so much more advanced. I remember, I don't think it was the last draft, but the one before. There were 7 5-stars, I think, taken in the NFL draft that year. I think that was the year that Jalen Phillips got drafted by the Dolphins. So it was something like 7 or 8 of the first rounders selected were 5-star recruits coming out of high school. That's essentially like saying you got a 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 chance if you're a 5-star of being a first-round pick. So they've gotten pretty good at predicting or projecting how good players are going to be. Is it perfect? No, it's nowhere near perfect. However, try telling a guy like Nick Saban or a guy like Kirby Smart that, hey, these rankings don't matter. Oh, really? Then why are they stockpiling 5-star recruits? Why, out of the 32 5-stars in every class, how come they're getting, each of those coaches is getting like 5 of them? Urban Meyer, tell him 5-star and 4-star guy, that doesn't matter. Yeah, there's exceptions to the rule, but the best teams typically have the best blue chip ratios. Sure, you'll have a Cincinnati where their blue chip ratio is not high. Yeah, because they're a small school. They're not one of these big budget elite programs, and they have an amazing coach. But guess what? When they go head to head against the big boys in the playoffs, it doesn't work out for them, does it? If you want to win a national championship, you need big time recruits. You need those top 100 players. To me, like they say a blue chipper is a 4 or 5-star. To me, it's like a top 100, top 150 guy. That's like a blue chip player. And we got a bunch of those in this class. Georgia whole defense was 5 and high 4-stars. Yes, agreed. Yeah, don't tell. Ray Lewis would be a 3-star. Ed Reed today would be a 5. I agree. I think Ed Reed would have been like around a 4-star caliber player if he was making those kind of plays. I don't have hydration near me. Number 1 came, but yes, that is the signal to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Thank you, sir. Let's see. ESPN had a headline that number 62 ranked in Georgia committed to Bama. Okay, I'm not sure who that was. I refuse to give 24/7 my support. What? Oh, because of Anyway, I was getting to my point, but yeah, I kind of got sidetracked. Yeah, no, when Ray Lewis came out, I don't think star ratings were even a thing. He was an under the radar guy for whatever reason. It's totally different now the way they rate players. You can't keep going back to the old well of, oh well, This guy was this many. JJ Watt was a 190 pounds soaking wet coming out of high school. Yes, that is a rare exception. Please understand that. But yeah, back to my original point, the whole thing about taking a star away from Jaden Wayne. I think they got their hand caught in the cookie jar, to be honest with you. It was pretty obvious. They called it a glitch. It was very obvious, I think, what they were doing. This is just my opinion. I heard that a big part of the star ratings is that they're projecting how they're going to do in the NFL or how high they're going to get drafted in the NFL. I think I heard Footballville Streeter talking about that on his show. And if that's what it is, I don't think that's – I can understand why they do that, but I don't think that's right. Star ratings for players coming out of high school should be projecting how you're going to do in college. NFL's the next step after that. That shouldn't be taken into account, okay? For example, I don't know, just to throw an example out there. I was going to say Lamar Jackson, but he's been a pretty good NFL quarterback. But yeah, a guy, Tim Tebow, he was a terrible NFL quarterback. Hell of a college player, won a Heisman Trophy. At times, it could be like two different sports almost. So I don't think they should rate it that way if that's true. But, then they brought up the point of, well, Nico commits to Tennessee. He doesn't drop off. So I don't know. I don't get the arguments there. And then people taking screenshots of Aguirre's rating and seeing if he drops off. I don't think he did. But, ultimately, once they step on the field and they prove everybody wrong, it's not going to matter. Mario's he has 2 top 5 picks in the last 2 years. So if that's the excuse they're giving, I don't know. I don't understand it. Happens more often than not to Miami recruits. Yep. I think I saw someone on Twitter post like the trend of Raul Aguirre's rankings from like March to now, and he dropped from like, I don't know, it was like 171st overall to like 189th or something like that on 24/7's rankings, not the composite. The composite, he's like 120. Hey, Stephen Gomez, thank you, sir, for the donation. Appreciate it. When we got Armstead, he was a #1 recruit, and it was a 5-second story by Jim Barry on Channel 7. Recruiting has changed. Thank you, sir. 1,000%. The way recruiting is covered, those star ratings matter to these kids. They absolutely, for NIL deals, think about it. That extra star means something. So, yeah, Sean Taylor was a highly, highly rated recruit. I think he was like, what class was he picked? Must have been the 2000 or 2001 class coming out of Gulliver. Played like every position on the field. Same thing. It was a small story covered on the local news. Yeah, we got the #1 recruit in the county or whatever. He's going to be a great one. Yeah, and he ended up being a legend. But, I mean, if fast forward to today, if, the late, great Sean Taylor was in high school, he'd probably be the #1 recruit in the nation right now. It would be televised on ESPN or CBS HQ. And he'd be getting NIL deals literally thrown at him. Let's see. Popo said he was coming here at 161 weeks ago. He commented on IG. Really? Okay. He signed his commit in a hot tub. I did not know that. That's a little too far back for me. That's what, 1990 when we got Armstead, around there? I was like 3 years old. I'm confused why everyone uses star rankings coming into college football, but has nothing to do with college. Ed Reed was reportedly a 2-star. Reportedly, but I don't know. It's hard to go back to like 1997 or whenever it was to see how many stars somebody had. Again, I don't think that was really a thing back then. But yeah, I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that. For those that say star ratings don't matter, they absolutely matter. Now, if a guy comes out and he's a complete bust, then it doesn't matter. But again, these days, that doesn't happen too often. 1998. All right. Lex, what's going on, sir? Ratings also matter to the recruiters. It's tied to bonuses. That's a good point. That's right. Wasn't he on the team from Dallas Carter that played against Mojo on Friday nights? Yes. Steven, I think you're right. I think Jesse Armstead was – so there was some great Kane linebacker, and I think it was Armstead that was on that Dallas Carter, that legendary team that played in Friday Night Lights at the end of the movie when they were playing for the state championship. Colorado was bust. Yeah, unfortunately. Flo says they don't matter. Listen, Flo is a tape guy, and so am I. They matter for the most part. Are there exceptions? Is there an occasional Emory Williams? Of course. But why do the best teams want to stockpile the best recruits? Think about it. They do matter. Sometimes they miss on guys. You know, Stanquan Clark's like number 300 something in the nation. He's like barely a 4-star. I like his tape. He might fit this defense beautifully. Okay. So yeah, he's a low 4-star, but ends up being like a 5-star caliber player for us because of the fit. Other things go into account, but they do matter at the end of the day. But the DM from Michigan was a 4-star. Don't make no sense to me, but I hate for the U. Yeah. All right, Steven. Yeah, I got to your comment. Running back. Let's address running back really quick. I'm all over the place tonight, but it's a show. It's a solo show. It happens. Running back. Yes. It looks like it's probably going to be this dude, Chris Johnson Jr. I know they really like Cedric Baxter, and they haven't. I don't think they've given up on that. I also heard they haven't given up on Mark Fletcher. But I'm thinking it's probably just going to be one running back in this class, which I'm actually totally fine with. You can always get a guy in the portal next year if you need it. But, you know, with Trevante Citizen coming in this year, and then you still got guys like Thad and, you know, all that group, you get one more guy, get one more really fast guy like Chris Johnson, who's one of the fastest guys in the nation behind this offensive line. I think we're okay. Fort Knox, what's going on, sir? With Miami getting better players every day, who do you see leaving at any position first? Travis, this is a good question. I could see with what's on the horizon, I could definitely see another offensive lineman leaving next. I could totally see a receiver leaving because I don't know if this happens to you guys, but, you know, you look at the last class, we got Isaiah Horton, who's a very talented, highly rated receiver. Big dude, 6'3". He can go up and get it. He can fly. Great receiver. But you kind of forget that we just got him because all the guys we're talking about getting now, when you talk about the receiving core, he's a guy you kind of forget because he just stepped on campus. I hope he's not a guy that slips away because I would love to keep him. I think he really raises the talent level of that room. But you just added a bunch of, you just added a couple of transfer guys, Kobe Young, Ladson, there's a ton of receivers on this team. So I could see, I like Isaiah. Yeah. Isaiah Horton's a beast, man. I could see a lineman leaving. I could see a receiver leaving. I don't see any running backs leaving. Maybe a tight end because we just got 3 of them. Either that or one of the 3 tight ends moves to tackle or ends up falling out of this class. If you put a 5-star offensive lineman at receiver, he will become a 2-star. If you don't have the right coaches to put the players where they will excel, the player won't be good. Coaching develops 5 stars. I agree with that. Because then there's the other argument. All the top players in the nation lately, they've all been going to the same 3 or 4 schools: Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, Bama. They're getting a lot of the 5 stars, and now Texas A&M. Guess what? there's awesome coaches at those teams, and they develop players. They don't have a lot of busts. So the two go hand in hand. That's true. What player from last year that underperformed for us is going to make the biggest jump development-wise with this staff to make an impact this year? Great question. My brain always goes to offensive line with this question. I'll give you one offense, one defense. I really see Jalen Rivers, if he stays healthy, Jalen Rivers really taking that next step to be an All-American caliber guard. I think they're going to take. He's like Coach Mirabal said the other day, on our show. He's 344 pounds right now. Massive dude that can move well and carries it well. He's probably going to shave a little bit of that weight off, just for conditioning to be able to last the season. But that's an elite dude right there. He was our best offensive lineman last year, and we lost him in the second game, unfortunately. But that's a dude that's going to take a big, big, big step forward, I think. So Jalen Rivers on offense. On defense, I've been singing his praises for over a year now. I'm going to say Chase Smith. I think Chase Smith ends up being a starting linebacker on this team at some point in the year. 3 games in, 6 games in. I don't know when, but he's going to make enough plays that Coach Strong and Coach Steele are going to be like, he needs to be on the field. What are we doing here? I see we trending with Hakeem Williams. Yes, we are. Thank you. You think we land him? I think they love the kid. I think they like him a lot. I like him a lot. He's the receiver I covet the most of the guys that are out there. I wanted Jaylen Brown. I followed his career since, man, he was probably a sophomore when I first heard about him. Running track, and we knew about his speed and everything. But we didn't. He went to LSU. And that's fine. There's other guys on our board. Maybe Hakeem Williams was higher on our board. I don't know. But I think, you know what? Yes. With the momentum we have, why not? I think we do land Hakeem Williams. There's about 2 spots left for receiver in this class. And I think they're saving at least one of those spots to reel in a big fish like Hakeem. Hakeem or Gene. Both. I was literally just about to say, get Hakeem, and then that other spot, save that for Andy Jean. Local kid out of Northwestern, 6'1", 180, 190. That's, he's a smooth route runner, great hands. I think Andy Jean would fit very nicely in this offense. Jason Johnson would look lovely at linebacker. Yes, they would. Like Mitchell said earlier, you put guys in the right place and, position to succeed, you'll wonder, what the hell they were doing when they were rating them coming out of high school, like Chase Smith, for example. John with Raul and Bobby outside linebacker. If we get Malik, we have Wesley. We have the talent to play 3-4 defensive linebacker. Yeah, we certainly have the personnel to play like a mixed look, that's for sure. You got the guys at D-line that, between 260 and 280 that can play that DN, D tackle position. And certainly Cyrus Moss is a dude that could probably play in the edge 3-4. Aguirre can play all over the place at linebacker. You can even bring down James Williams to come off the edge on certain plays. They can really get creative with the guys they got, because they got very unique, that's combination of size and speed. It allows you a lot of flexibility. Horton just got here. He's not going anywhere. Yeah, I agree. I hope you're right. But I'm not saying I haven't heard anything. I'm just saying you never know. You never know these days with NIL and transfers. Quinn Ewers was at Ohio State for like 5 minutes. So did you see what Andrew Ivins said about what the last staff said about Popo? No, I did not. Let me guess. They did not return his calls. Spoiler. The last staff was not that interested in him. I bet you anything. Lex, $5 dono. Thank you, sir. Can't wait to see you soon, bro. Yep. We got a nice little golf trip coming up the weekend of the Texas A&M game. That's going to be fun. Name one recruit that may want in this class but gets left out because we can only take so many. First one that comes to mind is Peyton Kirkland. And if I can pick one on defense, I think that I was going to say maybe Stanquan Clark if like Malik Bryant wants in and maybe some other stud, but I think they like Stanquan a lot. And I think he's a take either way for the staff. So, yeah, I guess Kirkland is the one that comes to mind. He's so good, but look at the guys they've gotten so far. Zoe and Washington Brothers, reason Jalen went to LSU. Yeah, no, I've been hearing a lot about that. Hearing mixed things about, was he high on the staff's board? Did things change when Zoe got here? Let's see. I heard Jaden had the drop season. Pope ended up dropping the ball. And Pope ended up dropping the ball on his signing day. Is that true? I'm not sure. I heard the rumors about Jalen Brown. Yeah, he had a bit of the case of the dropsies. He didn't have the most reliable hands, supposedly. I heard that rumor as well. So, add all those things together and, maybe the staff wasn't as high on him as we thought. Or I could be totally wrong. They could have really wanted Jalen Brown. And he just chose LSU. We're not going to win them all, man. We're not going to win every single one of them. But that being said, I wish all the luck in the world to Jalen Brown. I think he's going to kill it at LSU. If that's true about his hands, if he gets that fixed, they got great coaches up there. Jalen Brown's going to do very well. He's going to have fun in the SEC. I'm going to be pulling for him. John, there is no 25-man limit on this class this year. The limit is an 85-man roster. Yes, that is true. There is no limit for this class. If they, they can make room for a guy if on the back end someone ends up transferring out, as long as you are under the 85-man limit, which is probably how, Saban and all those guys were getting away with it before with the gray shirts and all that. I don't know how all that works. Will Miami maybe have the offensive line? Have the best offensive line in school history? I'm guessing is what you meant. This incoming class certainly has the talent to get there. That's 100% for sure. Name LSU quarterback. I'll be honest, Randy, I cannot name LSU's quarterback right now, but man, it's LSU, man. When is LSU, aside from maybe last year or 2 years ago, coming off their national championship, when has LSU been bad in recent memory, in the last 20, 25 years? LSU has always been solid. They're always going to recruit well, especially in that area. Even when, Odell Beckham and former Dolphin, forgetting his name. You know who I'm talking about. Odell Beckham Jr. and his boy. He was a Dolphin receiver. They played at LSU when they had no quarterback. And, they somehow got drafted in the first round. So LSU doesn't have a good quarterback situation. Yeah, no, you might be right. But Jarvis Landry. Thank you, sir. My point is LSU is a great program with a good history. I'm just saying I think he's going to have a good time up there. I think he's going to do well. He's too fast and too physically gifted. Burrow was a transfer. Can't remember a good recruit. Mettenberg, I think, was a big time recruit. But you bring up a good point. Let's see. Let's hit a couple more because I'm starving and I got to go eat. Andy Manzano saying, with us having Braces and possibly getting Samson Akunlola, and we may get Monroe and Allen, do Monroe and the Finnish kid have the food to stay at tackle, or they move into? Oh, have the feet, I guess, the footwork to stay at tackle, or do they move to guard? I look, I'm no film expert. I see Monroe Freeling. He's kind of a longer guy, but I don't know. I kind of see him moving to guard eventually in his career. Olas, for sure, I can see him playing guard. And Maui Go is a guy. Maui Go is a guy that I could see starting at guard, kind of what they did with Navon Donaldson, but I think it would go right this time. Start him at guard, kind of like what they've done at Alabama with a couple guys, and then kick him out. I think they did that with Evan Neal. Evan Neal is a freshman, I think, played guard, and then they kicked him out. Receivers make the quarterback look better unless their name is Tom Brady. Good point. Yeah, look what Randy Moss and Chris Carter made a lot of okay quarterbacks look great. So yeah, I'm doing good, man. The QB Jefferson at LSU, I can't remember his first name. Oh, yeah. Was it Anthony Jefferson? It was like 2008, 2009. Russell Jefferson. No. Russell Shepard? I can't remember. Yeah. LSU had a big-time quarterback committee. He was like one of the top, he was like a top 5, top 10 player in the nation around 08, 09. Kirkland will be in this class. Mario's going to flip the roster. Jordan Jefferson. Thank you, sir. Yeah, we'll see what direction they go with the line. That's a good point. Like I was saying earlier, they may go 7 deep in this class just to, push, maybe push some of the older guys out. I don't know. Hey, George Jefferson. Jamarcus Russell. Oh, yep. Jamarcus Russell, I think, was a big-time high school recruit. Didn't work out for him so well in the NFL. But yeah, he was one of those guys that, like, from his knees can throw it 1 billion yards. Thank you, Les. Please hit that like button. The General. What's up, sir? All right, guys. 162 in the chat. Just to listen to a little old me talk. Thank you so much. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm sporting my new jersey, just got in the mail. This is either Leonard Hankerson or Ryan Moore. Can't remember, but just got this one on Mercari, which, by the way, great place to find, like, if you're looking for Canes gear, some jerseys and stuff for cheap, Mercari is a good spot. I've gotten a couple things for like 35, 40 bucks. Let's see. Kitchens is going to take Avante's spot at safety. He has to be on the field. If Kitchens is going to take a safety spot or Avante is going to take us, I see Kitchens and Avante both starting at safety before I see one of those two guys not starting. I think those are your two best pure safeties, whereas James Williams, great safety, very gifted athlete, but you can move him around more than Avante. Or, the hell do I know? They might move Avante to the star position. Who knows? 170 and counting. I don't know what it is I'm saying that's drawing people to my channel, but hey, I'm riding the wave. Thank you guys for all the support. James will play star. Yeah, I see James more likely the one to move around than those other two guys. Kitchens is a pure safety, and so is Avante Williams. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming in and listening to me ramble for an hour. We got a good one today. Raul Aguirre, 4-star linebacker. You got him. You got Wesley. You got Bobby Washington. You got Chase Smith, Caleb Johnson. All of a sudden, linebacker is starting to look all right. Anthony says, read my last comment before you go. Okay, we'll squeeze this one in. John, I watched and read some LSU blogs and YouTube, and they're saying Max Johnson is their future quarterback. Max is Brad Johnson's kid. Interesting. Okay. Thank you, Anthony. I did not know that. All right, so maybe Max Johnson and Jaylen Brown is going to be a thing we hear for the next couple of years. Let's see. I hope. I wish all the best for Jaylen Brown, honestly. But, oh, wait. Max is 8 a.m. Okay, I got to look up to see where he is and what LSU's quarterback situation is. But what I said about Jalen stands. I wish him the best. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. As always, it's all about the U. It's great to be a Miami Hurricane.